What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer, and this is my review for Vince Staples' first EP, Hell Can Wait. Now it's not a full-length album, but I was looking forward to checking this one out because I really liked his verse on Common's track, Kingdom. So let's not waste any time and let's get into the track-by-track review since it's only 7 songs long. The album opens up with the track Fire, and this track is built around some big bass and very powerful drums, so it's a great way to kick the album off because it immediately gets your neck snapping. In the verses, Vince goes into a bit of detail about his upbringing in California, including having to be the man of the house at the age of 13, and on the hook, he touches on the feeling of hopelessness by rapping, "I'm probably finna go to hell anyway." The vocal distortion on this track works great too, because it really fits the edgy, angry sort of feel that the track has going on. 6500 keeps things going with another great beat. This beat has a bit of a Neptunes feel to it because of the tom-toms and the bass line. And the underlying strings add a little bit of darkness to it as well, so it's a really interesting production and probably my favorite beat on here. On this track, Vince blows Juvenile and Lil Wayne away by rapping about a block that is 6500 degrees, as opposed to 400 degrees and 500 degrees. Both verses are nice, but the second verse really stuck out to me because Vince did a great job of painting a picture of a shootout that's about to go down. I especially like the line, "Fuck a class, junkies hitting glass," because it works in 2 ways. Some people aren't going to school because they're on drugs, and others aren't going to school because they're making money off of these people who are on drugs. So I thought that was a cool little line there. The beat on Screen Door has a similar feel to 6500. It kind of sounds like something that the Clips would spit a bunch of coke raps over. I found this track very interesting because Vince details what it was like to grow up with a father who was involved in a lot of illegal activity, gang activity, selling drugs, doing drugs, and more. I think this is one of the standout tracks on the album, and I really can't wait to get this and 6500 in my car because the beats are on point. Some of the production does slip up a little bit though, like on the song Hands Up, where a siren goes on through the whole song and is a little bit annoying. But the content more than makes up for it, because Vince is rapping about police brutality, authority abusing power, police murdering people, racial profiling, and all those types of issues. To put it simply, Hands Up is a smart, clever, and brutally honest the police type of track. The next track, Blue Suede, is the lead single off of this EP, and there's a video for that. The beat is a bit headache-inducing because of the high-pitched synth, and even though the lyrics are mostly just hoes and gangbanging, still a pretty cool track. Especially because he makes a Sweet Chin Music reference, and I think everybody has love for Shawn Michaels, aka HBK, aka the Heartbreak Kid, aka Just a Sexy Boy, and anyone who doesn't have love for Shawn Michaels, why are you watching this, man? I can't trust you. Vince also refers to an electric chair as a Pikachu on this track, and I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty funny too. Like, just imagine if Pokemon were real and that's how we used them. Like, you had a Pikachu chained up next to your TV and you just plugged your television into him, and you had a Charmander in a cage that you used to heat your home. Kind of like the Flintstones, like what they did with dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, but with Pokemon. Limos with Tiana Taylor is probably the most lighthearted track on here, and it has a late night creep vibe and sort of feel to it. I took this as a track about how love, sex, and relationships can get people caught up in the wrong situation or make them lose their focus. For example, Vince sounds very cautious in the first verse, where he spits, "Marilyn Monroe's used their wombs as a way of getting forward." I thought that was a cool line because we see that all the time with rappers and athletes and the groupies slash Instagram models slash Twitter girls, whatever you want to call it, that they get caught up with. It's not a very deep track when compared to some of the gems on this EP, but it's still alright for what it is. It's just kind of a cool vibe out track. And lastly, Feelin' the Love is easily my least favorite track on this project. The beat is just irritating and jumbled and all over the place. I just wasn't feeling it at all. But Vince still comes correct with the lyrics, as is expected. He continues to share his story with us. On the first verse, he raps about how as soon as his mom left the house for work, he would just go back home because that's how he'd skip school. And in the second verse, he mentions how he wanted to go to college, but once he saw how expensive it was, he just skipped out on it because he saw that he could make money and succeed in other ways. So that's my review for Vince Staples' Hell Can Wait EP, and I give it a 3.5 out of 5. The lyrical content is great on this because Vince talks about his past. He touches on things that he's experienced and things that he's seen. And he also talks about social issues, like on the song Hands Up. The only problem really is that the production has highs and lows. I thought the first 3 tracks were near perfect, but after that the album just started on a bit of a decline. Not that it really ended awfully, it just wasn't as good as how it began. Still, it's a very solid EP. I would recommend that you check this out, and I look forward to hearing a full-length album from Vince Staples because he really showed us with this EP that he's got something to say. So thank you for watching. Hit up Luke at redmattersite.com if you're an indie artist and you want me to review your album, or if you have an album review request. Also check out blurredsonline.com for an interview that I did with them recently so you can learn a bit more about me and how I feel about music and my creative process. And share my videos on Twitter, like them on YouTube, share them, all that good social media and YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time.